Kirsten.
Thank you both. You know, at the base of Beaver Creek, you can actually go to a great restaurant called Mirabel. Joining us now, we have Chef Daniel Joly. I always put a little Spanish in there. Joly. And he's going to make a great lobster dish for us. Every time I drive by your restaurant, I just look in. I haven't been there yet.
Ah, shame on you.
I know, and it's beautiful. The location is gorgeous.
Yeah, Mirabel is so unique. You know, we got that old little ranch house, was the beginning of the valley in a way.
Yeah.
And you know, it was built in the 1800s when it was nothing here. And we're very lucky for that. At that respect, I feel very privileged about, you know, using that. And you know, the best compliment I always have is like, we have people have timeshare here maybe for 2 years, and they say, you know, Daniel, it's like 3-4 years I own a timeshare, and I never realized it was a restaurant. Soon we get them hooked, and they become good customers.
Oh, great. So that is actually from the homesteading period. That's an old house?
That's right, yes.
That's right. And you can see that from the outside. It's just beautiful. And I looked inside, too, and it just has that great feeling.
And I think, you know, for us, it's really European as a feeling. You know, it's like you go inside to a home to have a dinner, and, you know, I think it fits very well with the cuisine we're doing. But I want to show you today is we're going to do a little lobster like we got on our menu.
Okay.
I'm going to get those pans to warm up there because I need to electricity sometime, you know, we're so used with the gas, sometimes electricity, we need to give them a minute.
Okay.
But you know, the food at Mirabel is a little bit, I would say, like contemporary, like European contemporary cuisine. And let me get going here.
Okay, and so with this, you have really fresh ingredients, I'm noticing, too. Everything you have is fresh herbs, fresh vegetables, the lobster. Is that really important?
There's no trick in the cooking, you know. If you don't start with the right thing, you're not magician, you're only a cook, you know.
Right, right. Yeah.
I mean, it's like you, I think you're really, the start is where, you know, going to decide of nice your dish going to be. But you see, I'm just going to sear the lobster. I mean, everything been prepared, you know, like pre-cooked. Everything we get at Mirabel is fresh. We make our own bread. We make our own ice cream, our own pastry, everything. Okay. I mean, I'm just going to sear my lobster to warm it back up to temperature.
That's beautiful. And the lobster tails. And how do you get the seafood up here fresh?
Oh, you know, it's, when I first immigrated to the United States, I was in South Carolina. And it's funny enough, we got some nicer seafood from Denver to what we got from South Carolina when I was in Charleston. Oh. I was really impressed when I come here. We moved to the valley in '91, you know, my wife and I, and we, you know, buy the restaurant in '99. But I was really impressed when I moved here in '91. I said, this is really strange, we're in the middle of nowhere, because that was a concern for me, because I'm very, you know, picky about getting only the best, you know, you can buy. Yeah. And I was concerned about it. When I come here for an interview, I said, the seafood we can get here and the produce, because I think it's such a concentration of good restaurant, you know, you really got the market for.
Oh, yeah. And that looks great. And lobster tail, I actually had lobster the other day, and it's just such a treat when you're in the mountains.
You know, I kind of believe it's when you go in a restaurant like Mirabel, you go to a place when you want to have food, you're not going to eat at home. I think if just to throw something in the barbecue, you don't have to come to Mirabel, you see what I mean?
Right.
Because I think that's a little bit I guess my belief in the cooking. And you see what I got here is a little celery root. You know, I cook with milk, a little bit garlic, and that's kind of the base of my dish here today. So
celery root, milk, garlic.
That's right.
And then you're just going to create that as the base?
Yeah, it's like kind of a muslin, you know, kind of a little mashed potato, if you would say, you know, with celery root only. Was, you know, kind of refreshing as a flavor. I put a couple star anise in there for, you know, to add some flavor.
Beautiful. And it's always nice to have those spring vegetables too. I mean, how are you able to get such small?
We use a lot of the local farming, you know, this time of the years. I mean, if you know, we use a lot of the zucchini and all that kind of thing, you know, growing around Colorado.
Oh, that's nice. You're able to support the local farmers as well, and that's becoming more of a trend, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think it's really, you know, I mean, as close to the source you get, and nicer the quality going to be. That's pretty much. Those haricot, for example, come from Colorado. You know.
Yeah, and that's something Europeans, you guys have known for quite a while, and I'm glad that we here in the States, all the chefs really understand that as well in their training. So this is great, and then you have all the fresh vegetables, and the design is also part of this. It's just wonderful.
I mean, you eat with your eyes. It's like when you see a pretty girls, you know, it's always very nice. You see what I got here is, I take the bone of the lobster and I concasse with some apples, and I put a little bit Calvados. Kind of do like you will set the base to make a lobster bisque, you know, but I don't add any cream to it. And I just finish with a touch of butter to get a little more like the, you know, lustering color there, you know, like it look nice and shiny.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful color.
And
see, and even though you're using butter, what's interesting is it's just a touch of it. So you really get that first flavor with your first bite.
But that's the thing, it's like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I don't like butter sauce. I think it's a lot of time because you get over reduced and you get that really thick concentration of butter. If you just do a little touch at the end, I think it's very acceptable.
And Chef, how often do you change your menu?
We change every 4 weeks.
Every
you know,
4
it's
weeks.
like we have a crew about, I would say, 8 or 9 people in the kitchen, and when they start to get, too cocky, that's when I start to change to make everybody back on track.
That's a good way. That's a very good way to keep them in line.
When they, they think they know everything, that's why we challenge them again. But I work a lot with some European chefs. I do like some training program. I mean, I got like about 4 people from Europe with me, and that's kind of nice because that's kind of gives us that true, authentic, feeling for the restaurant anyway, I believe.
Right.
Like we have a couple people from Europe in the dining room as well. I think I want to. You see, since we have some apples in the sauce, I'm gonna garnish with a little bit.
That's such a great idea. That must bring out the flavor of the lobster as well.
Since Colorado is such a dry climate, I take some zucchinis locally grown and I dry them, dehydrated, in the oven, in the low oven, and I use that as a garnish. And that's some baby bok choy leaf as well, we do the same thing.
And same thing, just dried?
Exactly, you just let him dry. You put a bit sugar coating on top,
Wow.
And I'm gonna move all my stuff
And
here.
you definitely do eat with your eyes. That is something you want to be able to try and taste that.
That's kind of the lobster. What I got here is a bit green oil, because I know Greg gonna say otherwise to me. He said, Daniel, you don't have enough color on your plate. I want to make sure I keep him happy.
So everyone's keeping you in check too as the chef. It's wonderful. Well, every 4 weeks the menu's going to change, so people should probably come out and try
Yes, we
this.
just get a new menu like about 3-4 days ago. I mean, it's a brand new thing we're going. I mean, that's going to go for August. But Mirabel is a small restaurant in a scale of restaurant. Like my wife is in the dining room, I'm in the kitchen. I mean, we're very much like family owned, if I would say.
Right.
And I mean, it's, the seating is limited, and we got a great summer. We maybe the better one we got so far.
Okay, and for reservations, people should call you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, not call me directly, but you can call the restaurant. That number is 949-7728.
Okay, and that's the best way. And do they have to usually give themselves a few days?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It's in the summertime, typically, if you will do in the winter, we book like week before. In the summertime, people kind of take the decision in the last minute. It's funny. It's like you can start a day with like 30 reservations, and by 6 o'clock, you're up to 90 people. I mean, you see all the cook running around and get ready,
Right. Well, with this kind of cuisine, I see how that's possible. Thank you for being with us
it was
today,
nice
Chef.
to be here.
Absolutely wonderful cuisine. Make sure you head out to Mirabel Restaurant. We'll be right back.
This weather and mountain report is brought to you by
TV8 Vail.
Kirsten, you have to go to Mirabel. It's unbelievable that you have not been there. It's only one of the best restaurants, not only in this area, but all of Eagle County, all of Colorado. You've got to go. You've got to go. On the planet. Craig Struby says on the planet. I would agree. That's a very, very good place to go eat. So you've got to go check it out right at the base of Beaver Creek. And you know what? You can do that today because it's going to be bright sunshine. You're going to be out playing today. As those clouds start to roll in, you're going to want to go get some grub later tonight in Mirabel. Great place to do that. Eagle County looks like this for today. Again, 30% chance of precipitation. Late in the day is when that's going to build up, and we're going to see those clouds start to come in, and we could see some moisture. If you're in an area where you actually get to see some rain, it may sit on you a little bit because there's not a lot of wind. We could see gusts up to 25 miles an hour late in the day. Early in the day, 5 to 10 miles an hour, relatively light winds, and if it's not one of those gusty storms that moves in, it could sit on you just a little bit. 5-day forecast shows just about the same. Each and every afternoon, 30% chance of precipitation coming your way. So go ahead and enjoy all of your activities. Layer up with sunscreen, drink lots and lots of water, and don't forget Mirabel for a very special dinner tonight. Stay tuned with more Good Morning Vail in just a minute.
Man has always been fascinated with traveling back in time. Well, now Sprint has actually moved the unlimited calling time back to